Hi there, it's Gavin Lloyd from Glow.digital, and I just want to show you a quick tip on using Gmail to send mail from a different domain account than your Gmail account. It's a very cool trick that Google has um, built into it. I'm not sure if you've seen the settings, but in situations like I often am in where I manage multiple domains for customers and for our own interests in that, we have several domains, and instead of managing a whole pop account and having hundreds of little email accounts all over the place, I just find Gmail's security, its anti-spam settings, and its convenience across mobile and desktop are just fantastic. So I like to take all my mail and just point it into my core Gmail account, and then I apply filters to it to place it under the correct labels and that. And it gives me the freedom of just always having one contact point to receive mail from. But then the problem with aliases are they're not really an account. There's nothing behind them, so they just reroute mail from your domain to a another actual pop email account. So in the case where you need to send mail on behalf of the domain, so for instance, info at Glow.digital is an alias or a forwarded email account that comes to my Gmail account, and so there are times where I need to send correspondence as info at Glow.digital, and Gmail allows you to do this. It even allows you to set up a signature for each of these accounts, so as you select them it will apply a different signature for it, which is fantastic. So I'm going to show you quickly how to set it up. It's quite a cool feature and really can add loads of value to your productivity and your communication pipeline. So if you go into your typical Gmail setup, here you go, we've got standard Gmail. This is the free version. We also use G Suite, the paid Google Apps versions for our corporate side of things, but that has more powerful control over your SMTPs and domain. We're not going to cover that in this tutorial. So if you click on the cog icon at the top right hand corner of your screen, you'll see there's settings, and you go click on the settings. This will take you into the back end of your Google configuration, and there's an option under accounts and import. If you look here, this is where you can see there's the third option down. You can send mail as, and this is what we're going to show and demonstrate today. If you do have a pop account, you can also pull it completely into Gmail using it has a similar effect. It'll actually pull all your pop mail into Gmail, but you would still need to be able to send as another domain. So let me show you how Google does this. So you click under the send mail as, you click add another email address. Now I have set up test at Glow.digital as a test account, which I'll delete after this. So you would put, this is the email address that you would send on behalf of, and I'm just going to say here test Glow.digital, just for demonstration purposes. Treat as an alias, I always leave on. There are some options there, you can read up on them. It's typically for I've never needed to use that, so I just leave it at default. Click next step. Okay, this takes you to now what you need in order to be able to send mail on behalf of another domain. You need an active SMTP access to an SMTP server, and typically most SMTP servers require a username and a password to access them. So in most cases in hosted environments today, shared hosted environments today, what I would do is on a domain like Glow.digital, I'll have a couple of accounts that we use that are full pop SMTP accounts, which we can manage the routing in and out of, but typically we don't use these to gather our mail. We use our forward to our Gmail accounts, and then these we just use for sending mail from WordPress or form responses or any of our cloud applications, CRM and social media management and that. So we consult on all of these for organizations. We're in the process of doing some very cool CRM, integrated CRM, social media management, marketing and campaign tools and that. So we approach it from a strategic point of view. So we look at infrastructure, technology, we look at your business strategy, we look at your budget, we look at a whole range of things and look at what best suits and best fits you. And then we also look at things like then incorporating your front end through WordPress or whatever technologies will work there. Yeah, so that's one of the aspects of our business. So if you look here, this is the SMTP server mail.glow.digital. I always like to use the secure. I access it via the secure SSL. I think we're in a world where you cannot uh, if the option's there to use more stricter security, use it. The username here is actually the SMTP account that has access. Now, because test at Glow.digital is an alias, it doesn't have access to the SMTP account. So we're going to set up, this is a demo email account that I'll delete straight after this. This has full access to SMTP. It has a POP account as well. Passwords, I normally insist on a minimum of 15 character password. In this case, it's probably a 20 character with lots of mixed case and numeric and symbols and that in there. So once you put this in, so remember this is an SMTP access account that it will use to send your alias account address on. This if we wanted to send from demo emailer account at Glow.digital, we could do that as well, but then in the previous step we would set that as the account. So now what's happened is Google has sent me an email to say to verify that I own this account and that I have access to it. So Google's they'll always check your security. The mail will typically come through like this. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. There you go. So here you have the access code. You can copy and paste it in. You can also click on this link and it will conform it in the background, but then I typically prefer to do it this way manually and wait for the email and then just verify it right here. And then it's done. There you go. So now we have tested Glow.digital as an alias that we can use. I just want to go back to general. If you look here under general and you scroll down to the bottom, you have signatures. So over here you can go now and set up different signatures, because let me just refresh my environment. So that'll take us into, it's reloaded the data. So if you have a look here, we have tested Glow.digital. I can go put there, hi test. This is a test signature. Okay, and then this saves this as part of if you scroll down, this save changes. This saves it as part of your options there. So now if I go back to my mail, if I go compose, if you have a look now under the compose here where you normally just set in the to, I'm just going to put in here info at Glow.digital. But if you have a look here, there's a drop down under the from, and I've got different options here. So I've got my Gmail account, I've got the code cloud is another domain we used to manage, info at Glow.digital, and now test at Glow.digital. And as I click that, have a look, my signature's changed. So I'm just going to send this mail off like this, and now that's how you would send as and on behalf of Glow.digital. So if you look at your sent mail, you will see there we have it. It's gone out as tested Glow.digital. So it's a fantastic feature, highly recommended, very good for productivity, keeping all your data in your Gmail. Google just rocks in their security, their reliability, productivity, all of it. It's for us on our organizational mail, we have saved many hours and lots of infrastructure by just moving all our collaboration communication to the G Suite range of accounts and letting Google host it for us in the cloud. And for their monthly fee per user, it's totally worth it. We've reduced multiple servers in many instances, which are just expensive to run and a headache to manage. So for smaller businesses, entrepreneurs, freelancers and that, again, I highly recommend this. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to try and do more tutorials as we go ahead, and if you like it, please give us a thumbs up on social media, and get hold of us if you're interested in any services. So cheers, thank you.